Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Well, you know, I love to get your day started off on the right foot. And to do that, I've got an inspiring quote, and I think you're really going to like this. It's a good one. Cheerfulness is the best promoter of health, as friendly to the mind as to the body. Joseph Addison said that. And you know what it tells me? The Bible says that cheerfulness is like a medicine. Remember to enjoy life. Yeah. Hey, where can you find that happiness at? Tell you where I found it. It was last night at our church's VBS. It was family night, and they had all the kids in the sanctuary dancing and singing, and they got to recite their memory verse for us. And oh, by the way, it was pretty amazing too. 3 kids decided to give their hearts to Jesus last night. That was awesome. And after that, well, it was time to go outside. There were bouncy houses and water slides and hot dogs and chips and ice cream. And it was just amazing. And just seeing all those happy kids just running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Oh, to be young again. Hey, that lifted my spirits a little bit. Just seeing them have a good time, you know? And my daughter was a part of it. And she had 2 friends with her too. So it was so fun to see them interact with each other. So all I'm saying is find cheerfulness however you can. Find that happiness wherever you can. And I know you've got some things in your life to be happy about. So maybe what it's going to take is just, getting quiet for a minute and just going through your mind and remembering those things in your life that you should be thankful for. The things in your life that bring you joy and bring you happiness and bring you peace. And just thank God for them and enjoy them, okay? All right. Hey, I hope that you enjoy listening to this radio station because I enjoy hanging out with you. I got more great music for you to put another smile on your face. How about this one right here? It's for King and Country with God Only Knows. Could it be that the thing you resist the most is the door to the thing that's going to make your life better? Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22, but I'll let you know the psychology of it all. Stick around. I think you're really going to like this. It's an eye-opening comment. Okay, I want to lay out a scenario for you. Say that you work at a department store, okay? And you're really looking for advancement. And you found the thing that you really love to do the most. You're an analytical kind of person. You love numbers, and you can deal with products all day long. Ordering them, no problem. Yeah? You're good with math? So let's say that your department store is kind of like a game show. And on the game show, you have a chance to win a brand new car, but it's behind one of the doors. You've got 3 doors in front of you, right? You got to pick the right one. But each door is assigned a different responsibility. And here it is. You've got door number 1 is doing inventory and stocking products. You're like, I got that. I love that. It's what I live for. I'm so good at it. Door number 2 is balancing the books. You're like, well, I'm good with numbers. I think I could do a good job with that. You know, I feel pretty comfortable doing that because I love doing that kind of stuff. Great, right? But door number 3 has this task associated to it that you absolutely loathe. I mean, you don't like this. Customer service. Specifically, working at the returns desk. Oh, you know, when people bring the stuff in that's, maybe dysfunctional. Things come, they come up there and they're like, this doesn't work right. I can't believe you would sell stuff. People can get irate, right? Right there in the returns line. And customer service, dealing with people, never quite know what kind of mood they're in. And that's the one thing you're not comfortable with. But you know what? That brand new car is right behind that door. And you've just got to be able to get out of your comfort zone and do something new to make this big promotion happen. There's a lot of psychology that goes into that. But here's a little comment that I found that really puts it in perspective.
The thing that you want the most is often behind the thing that you resist the most. And you might be thinking, why on earth would I resist the thing that I actually want? Like, that's what I want. True, but getting what you want requires you to experience a new level of discomfort. While you may not be happy with something in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your situation, you know how to handle it. You know how to dodge, you know how to pivot, you know how to deal with it. And getting to the new thing and feeling that you want requires you to do something different. Insert temporary discomfort. When you try something new, you break the pattern and you get to the thing that you actually want. So I ask you, what are you resisting right now? If you're honest with yourself, that can reveal a whole lot about what's important to you right now.
So, are you going to do it? Are you going to take door number 3? Are you going to get the brand new car? Well, you've got to do something that takes you out of your comfort zone. But don't worry, you can do it because you're not alone. Your word of life today comes to you from Philippians chapter 1, verses 9 and 10 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. I pray that your love will overflow more and more and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. For I want you to understand what really matters so that you may live pure and blameless lives until the day of Christ's return. I love that phrase, for I want you to understand what really matters. Sometimes we get our focus on the wrong thing and we think, hey, this is what matters, only to find out that when you achieve that great success, or you get that new toy, or you have the big house or the nice fancy car, you realize that that didn't bring you happiness at all. It's not lasting. It's like, wow, woohoo, I got it. Now what? That's not what really matters. So focusing on the things that really matter, that is what's going to give you the most fulfillment. That's what I love about that verse. Philippians 1, 9 and 10 is where you can find that. You can also find it across our socials and at the top of our website where you can share it with your friends and family. Here is Switch with their brand new song called Perfection. It is becoming my new favorite song.
I keep finding myself fighting to avoid the mirror.
Positive affirmations can really help boost your attitude. You know, David even did that in the Old Testament. He would encourage himself in the Lord. But what kind of things should you be telling yourself? Well, stick around. I think you're going to laugh at what I've got coming next. It's affirmations, but probably in a way that you shouldn't do them. The Bible is chock full of positive affirmations and things to really lift your spirits. I mean, you see examples of them all the time. In the Old Testament, especially in Psalms, there's one that really sticks out to me, Psalm 42:11. Why are you cast down, O my soul, and why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, the help of my countenance and my God. That's great, right? And there are other scriptures that come to mind. One of them is, I am the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. And that is huge, right? Or how about you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, because that's what the Bible says about you. And these positive affirmations boost your attitude. They help you get out of a funk sometimes, but you got to know how to use them. I do not encourage you to get in the mirror and say these things to yourself. I mean, it's kind of funny, but not really helpful.
I ain't cute, but I ain't ugly either. I mean, I don't know what I am. I'm funny though, and broke too.
Even though I get it. You need to be saying more positive things about yourself. God made you just the way he wanted you. And guess what? He's got a purpose and a plan for your life. And he knows that there is good that you have done, that you're doing, and that you have yet to do, and he is going to help see you through it. So you know what, if you're in a funk this morning, if you're kind of in a blah mood, why don't you just go ahead and fake it until you make it? Put a smile on your face. Just look up in the rearview mirror if you're in your car, and just for no reason other than me telling you, smile. See yourself smile. Let's see those teeth. See? Just that can help you get into a better mood. And hey, if you will really listen to the lyrics of these songs, they'll help you as well. I get it, Mom. I get it, Dad. You want to protect your kid. You want to make sure they're safe all the time. But is maybe what you're doing a little too much? Are you a helicopter parent? How can you feel confident to let them do something on their own? And how will it make them feel? Well, let's kind of delve into that topic next. It's funny, my wife and I, whenever we notice there's a parent that is really hovering over their kid, we'll look at each other and just say, helicopter, helicopter, because that's a helicopter parent, right? Always around, always making sure their kid is safe. And it's like they can't take their eyes off of them. And that's something it takes a while to get comfortable with doing, is letting them do things on their own. But it is so freeing for those kids after you've taught them time after time. This is how we do it. And then you get to watch them actually do it without having to be there with them, holding their hand. It's a huge thing. It's a little bit of independence. And sometimes I'm afraid as parents, we're afraid of independence because then they won't need us as much. And it kind of hurts because there for a while, I mean, we're helping them do everything, right? And it's hard to let go. I came across this comment from Bar 7 Ranch. Now, this family is amazing. So it's Cody, Erica, and their kids on the farm, and they always have some great content to bring to us. And this has to do with hovering over your kids or not hovering over your kids. I love the way they spell this out. See what you think about it.
So guys, I think one thing we don't talk about enough, maybe as fathers or maybe even as parents in general, moms included, is, how fulfilling and how proud, maybe, I don't hate to use the word proud, but we are when our kids grow and they begin to use the things that we've taught them. Like, Clancy's out here hauling this hay today. He's 14, and I'm going to leave him here to do it. I'm not going to stand over him and watch him make sure all day. I mean, I'm going to trust that I've taught him well enough to do what he needs to do on the tractor and pay attention to the things he needs to pay attention to. I'm going to trust that the good Lord's going to watch over him and keep him safe while he's working. But, just letting your kids do stuff and quit helicoptering them, get off of them and give them an opportunity. He's liable to run over a fence today, but we can fix a fence and he'll learn something if that happens, or he's liable to tear up a bale. I know no matter how much I harp on him about, hey, I want you to keep these rows nice and straight, they're probably not going to be as straight as I want them. But that's just part of it, y'all. They have to learn, and the only way they learn is by doing, and you have to give them the opportunity to do things. I know there's going to be some of you guys here in the comments that are like, well, when I was 2 months old, I was changing my own diaper, and I was double clutching an 18-wheeler hauling grain, and, by the time I was 2, I was running the combine, and, that's great. Clancy's 14. He's been hauling hay for me for about 3 years now. So 10 or 11 years old, he started driving this tractor. So he's pretty familiar with it. But this is really the first time I'm just going to leave him to do it all day by himself. I'm not even going to be here. Now, Erica's here in case something happens. He's got a phone if he needs it. But just giving them the opportunity to work. And that's what I'm going to do here.
This video on TikTok is gaining a lot of traction, already 151,000 views and quite a lot of likes. A lot of people are commenting on it too. I love what Evan said. He says, it's so freeing when your parents finally let you go. He'll learn more by himself, but with your voice in the back of his head. Great job. I love that. Yeah, because these kids, they have got to be able to do things on their own. And it's our job to kind of let them do that while we're still around. I mean, while they're still at home, because, hey, if they mess up, well, we can fix it. We can learn from that mistake and we can help them not make the same mistake again. That's parenting. But doing everything for them, that's not really doing them any service, is it? Yeah. So independence. I know it's hard to let those kids go and do things on their own, but Mom, Dad, you have taught them well. Let them do it, okay? Imagine you heard that all day long. Would that not wear on your nerves? All the beeping? Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you how that cost a janitor about $1 million. Ooh, coming up here on the show, you've got to hear this. Stick around. I'm going to tie in a local story with this from Fairview, Alabama. You ever hear this sound at your house? Yeah, it's just every now and then you hear a... Yep, that's all it is. It's just one little beep. It's that smoke detector letting you know that it needs a new battery. Annoying, right? I can't stand stuff like that. I'm sorry. But recently, I was helping my wife move all of her classroom stuff back into her classroom because, at the end of the school year, they got to move it all out so the floors can be waxed. So we were there moving it all back in from the hallway. And we got a little thirsty when we left, so we had to stop at the local gas station. That is the Fairview Supret, where we stopped at. Went inside there, me and my little girl, to get some stuff for all three of us. And as we go in, we're looking for snacks, we're looking for drinks, and I can't help but hear this chirping sound in the back of the store. It was very, very annoying. It sounded a little something like this. Just incessantly, would not stop. It was in the corner of the room, and so I went back there and took a look. There's this box on the wall with this big ribbon of paper coming out of it. I don't know what that thing is, but it would not stop beeping. I thought maybe it was tied to the deep freeze there in front of it, so I opened the door to the deep freeze. Nope, it just had some ice cream in there. Closed that back. And we went about our business. I'm like, well, we got to get out of here. So anyway, those annoying sounds, they can really wear on your nerves, especially if you have to hear them all day. I made mention of it as I was leaving the store to the cashier, and she shrugged her shoulders like she had no idea what I was talking about. I guess she's gotten so used to that beeping that it's just a part of her every day. but I couldn't stand that. And neither could this janitor up in New York. You see, he was cleaning one of these research facilities, and there are a lot of freezers in there. The problem is these freezers, well, they hold a lot of the research. Things have to be kept frozen for a reason. Well, this freezer kept beeping, and there was a work order put in to get the freezer fixed, but it was taking a little long for people to do that. So this janitor took it upon himself to flip the breaker that freezer was attached to see if he could fix the problem, except it didn't fix the problem. It caused the freezer to stop working. And that was $1 million and 20 years of research down the drain. Yeah, just because of that beeping. He decided to shut it off, and it cost him. Well, it could cost him because there's a lawsuit now. Crazy, right? 20 years of research and $1 million. Wow. But hey, if it's wearing on your nerves, I don't know what to say in that situation. It's not a good thing. But anyway, so be careful, and maybe we can find the problem, why the beeping is occurring, and fix it rather than cost $1 million and 20 years worth of research. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. You know, I've got a watch that was given to me that I love the way it looks. It's got a leather band on it, but I can hear it tick, and it's loud. And I'm like, I was sitting here in the studio one day, and right after I got done talking, I could hear just this tick, 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 and it's like really loud. Anyway, it's those little things sometimes that get on our nerves. Sorry, maybe you're the same way. All right, more great music headed your way after your weather and your word of life. Thanks again for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. With all of our quirks and idiosyncrasies, it just makes us, right? I just wanted to give you a heads up that at the top of the hour, we're going to have your kid cuisine. It's always fun because our kids are bored and they're hungry, and those two things don't go very well together. It comes up with some crazy concoctions in the kitchen. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, I'm going to give you a chance to win a family 3-pack of water park passes to Point Mallard in Decatur. All that coming up at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. So please stick around. It's going to be fun. Here's We the Kingdom, Bear Reinhardt of Need to Breathe with Child of Love right here on the Lifeline. Hey, pretty exciting stuff. So we've been trying to cover all of the days of the week with giveaways, right? And we recently got a new business on board. I'll be telling you more about it, but wow, some really cool stuff to win. So be listening for your chance. It's 8 o'clock. You know what that means, right? Oh, yeah. It's time for some kid cuisine. Our kids, they're home for summer. They're bored and they're hungry, and those two things, they don't mix very well. Some crazy things happen in the kitchen. Some crazy concoctions coming from the kitchen. Or, I don't know, maybe it's a confectionery faux pas. Yeah, you know, it's these weird mixtures. I've got one for you today. This is definitely kid cuisine. So it's a corn dog. All kids like corn dogs, right? I know my little girl likes to take the corn off the dog and just eat the dog by itself. But still, sometimes the trick is not in the ingredients, but the trick is how you eat it. So I don't think there's anything more fun than eating meat off of a stick. But for some people, the stick is kind of off-putting. So they decide that they'll take the stick off, completely out of the corn dog, and then slice it up. And then if you lay it flat, guess what? Voila! You have some corn dog sushi. A little ramekin of ketchup to go with it, and it is delicious. So there you go. It is corn dog sushi. Good stuff. Corn dog sushi rolls. All right. Hey, I want to know what your kid's favorite concoction is in the kitchen. Maybe the weirdest thing you've ever seen them put together, or they eat something really strange. Maybe they do like this, and they'll eat it in a different way. I'd love to know about it. You can find this at the top of our Facebook page. It's the Kid Cuisine post. It's pinned right there, and you'll see all the different days, all the different recipes right there. But I want you to comment as well. And who knows, I might be able to talk about your kid's concoction on the show. So, yep, looking forward to that. Again, it's 88.5_JFM right there, pinned to the top of the page. Leave your comment there. And tell me, would you try this? I think you would, because it's just a corn dog. But there's some other very interesting options there as well. So go over there and let me know, would you? All right, stick around for your chance to win a family 3-pack of tickets to Point Mallard Water Park. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a very creative way of getting you to answer a question coming up shortly, so stick around.
Oh, Rubber Ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun.
I love it. I just had to because we're talking about Point Mallard and their mascot is a duck. It's your chance to win some Point Mallard Water Park passes right here. I got a question that I need you to answer, and here it is. Can you name a famous Warner Brothers cartoon duck? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. A famous Warner Brothers cartoon duck. You might have seen him on Looney Tunes. 256-505-0885. All right, call me up and win a family 3-pack of tickets to Point Mallard in Decatur. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to hear from you soon. 256-505-0885. Waiting on your call right now. I don't know about you, but I grew up on some Looney Tunes, and if it wasn't straight Looney Tunes, it was like it was the kid versions of them, Tiny Toons. It was always a lot of fun, right? Yeah. Who was your favorite Looney Tune or Tiny Toon character? For me, I think Bugs Bunny is definitely at the top of the list, but maybe just a little ahead of him was Marvin the Martian. I really liked that guy. In fact, I have a Marvin the Martian mug at the house, and the thing is huge. It's got Marvin on the side. It's so cool. I'm actually surprised it's lasted all these years because I got that thing way back, I think in the early 2000s, so it's aged well. Anyway, there is this duck that is part of that squad, part of that team. He's black in color, and him and Bugs, they don't get along too well. Here's a little conversation they're having. What I need to know is what's the duck's name at 256-505-0885, and somebody's going to win a family 3-pack of tickets to Point Mallard Water Park.
Have you ever heard the expression, don't judge a book by its cover? No. What about, it's what's inside that counts? Looks can be deceiving. Doesn't ring a bell. What's wrong with you? Oh, that one I've heard.
Who is that duck? 256-505-0885. He's black. He's got a yellow or an orange bill. He's always got something smart to say. 256-505-0885. Waiting on your call right now. In the meantime, Chris McClarney and Holland with I'm Listening.
This is Lana Lamar.
All right. So, are you maybe wanting to play a little game with me to win some Point Mallard Water Park tickets?
Oh, yes.
All right. You ever been to Point Mallard before?
No, it's for the kids.
All right. I'm telling you, it's an amazing place. I remember going there as a kid, and they've made it even better since then. They put in a lazy river and all kinds of other stuff. So, all right, here we go. Now, I imagine you probably watched some cartoons when you were a kid, right?
Oh, yes.
All right. Do you remember the Looney Tunes?
Yes.
Well, there was a famous duck on that show. What was his name?
Daffy Duck.
That's exactly right. That's the one I'm looking for. Congratulations. You just won a family 3-pack of tickets to Point Mallard Water Park. How does that feel?
It feels awesome. The kids are gonna love it.
Yes, they will for sure. It's really a fun place. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for calling me this morning. I just need to grab your address real quick, and I'll get these sent your way.
Okay.
Very good. Can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Why do you like listening to this radio station?
I listen to it every morning. It gives me inspiration for my day, and then I can get in the Bible or whatever. If Paul said he had to stir up the spirit, listen. If Paul did it, we need to do it. Amen?
I love it. Amen. I will get these in the mail to you. All right?
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. This is just the first of many giveaways for Point Mallard Water Park passes. We got 75 of these things to give out over the course of the summer. What does that mean? Well, we'll have multiple chances for you to win. Actually, starting next week, we'll have them twice a week. Family 4-packs coming up on Tuesday and Thursday. Of course, Lake Winnie Wednesdays. And I've got one more announcement to make. I was talking with the great people with Jaden's ice cream truck last night, and they said, hey, tell you what, we want you to give away a $10 voucher for ice cream to our truck once a week for the rest of the summer. So I think we're going to do that on Mondays. So Mondays will be ice cream, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be water parks. How cool is that? The whole idea is giving you and your family something fun to do or something fun to have. You know, meeting up with the ice cream truck is a blast. Going to the water park, that's a day full of fun. So we wanted to make sure that you had something to do this summer, because I know the kids, sometimes they get bored. So we want to help you out with that. We're just trying to make your summer a little bit better. So thank you for hanging out, and definitely be listening every day around the 8 o'clock hour to win something here on the radio. Really looking forward to having more fun this summer. But hey, we've got like, oh goodness, let's see, an hour and 40 minutes of show left. What are we going to talk about? Stick around. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Of course, we'll have some more great music like this song right here. It's Cody Carnes and Ain't Nobody right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Ice cream. You love it, right? Who doesn't like some ice cream? Well, guess what? There are 10 places that AL.com has just compiled are the 10 best places to get ice cream in the state of Alabama. And I'm going to bring you the whole list with a little commentary coming up after Dan Bremnes and Fingerprints right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM. So this is week 3 of having Braden Williams with me here in the studio. And this kid on his internship, I call him kid, well, he's about to be a senior at Shorter University. He's doing his internship here, wants to learn more about radio, and so it's been a blast having him here. He's been bringing all kinds of story ideas to the table, and he has been on top of AL.com with all of their food lists lately, and I think it's so cool because across the state of Alabama, there's some really good places to get. So far, we've covered barbecue, we've covered hamburgers, and now we're covering ice cream, because that's the one thing that cools you down better than anything else from the inside out. And if it tastes good, that makes it even better, right? All right, so AL.com, like I said, came out with this list, the 10 best ice cream shops in Alabama. So I just want to tell you about them. Maybe you've had some experience. Maybe it's time for a road trip to go experience these for the first time. At number 10, Edgewood Creamery in Homewood, Alabama. Now, our listeners in Birmingham, you probably are pretty familiar with that place. If not, this might be a great opportunity to go and darken their doorstep, get you some ice cream. At number 9, we've got Matt's Homemade Ice Cream in Gulf Shores. You know what? We had the chance to go there on our beach trip a few weeks ago, but we ended up going to the TCBY. Now I'm wishing we would have gone to Matt's. So that's number 9. Number 8 is just down the road in Scottsboro, Alabama, Payne's Sandwich Shop and Soda Fountain. Don't you love those old-timey soda fountains where they hand-dip the ice cream? Oh, good stuff. At number 7, in Huntsville, Pazzel's Confections. At number 6, we've got Cream Delight in Athens. Delight spelled D-E-L-I-T-E, by the way. At the halfway mark, at number 5, Toe Bridges in Florence, Alabama. At number 4 is the Blue Ribbon Dairy Farm in Tallahassee. Number 3, in Mobile, it's Cammie's Old Dutch Ice Cream Shop. At number 2, the Big Spoon Creamery in Birmingham, Alabama. At number 1, somewhere that might make you feel a little peachy, Peach Park in Clanton. I got to have some of that ice cream just a couple weeks ago on our way down to Gulf Shores. I tell you, that stuff is delicious, especially when you've got some peach cobbler underneath it. Oh, so good. So, hey, maybe it's time for a road trip to go and taste some of the state's best. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Road trip with the kids, you know how that is. It'd be a blast. Just some ideas for you. All right. Hey, tell you what, I'm gonna make it really easy for you to find that list. We're gonna put it over on our 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. So if you're not a part of that group already, go ahead, become a member, and you'll see all the stuff we've got there. A lot of cool resources, from food to college opportunities and all kinds of other stuff. So it's the 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. Go check it out. Did you know you could go to our website to find out about a concert? You can do that. You can also find some really cool resources there. Yeah, and the On Now button. Click that and you can listen to us from wherever you happen to be. We'd love to keep you company all day long. All right, so I don't know if you respond well to this, but public shaming, some people use it. Actually had an experience in an old workplace, and we got to experience that on a weekly basis. I'll tell you more about that as we bring you the story of, you know how they use the kiss cam at these big sports venues? Well, this was definitely not the kiss cam. It was the shame cam. We're going to talk about it coming up here on the show, so stick around. So I personally am one of those people that want to, well, if you have a problem with me, I want you to tell me in private. I don't like to be, I don't like confrontation. I just don't. I don't know. I'm just not that person, right? So I actually was trying out to work at a job in insurance, and it was in Huntsville. It was New York Life Insurance, by the way. And the particular manager there who was over that office, He had everybody come in once a week and basically call people out on why they didn't meet their quotas, why they didn't get so much business that week. And that just, it griped me so bad. I'm like, they do this every week? I ended up not working for the company because it was just too rough. But sometimes public shaming, it gets the point across in a kind of passive-aggressive way. It's not very passive, is it? It's pretty direct. But the San Jose Sharks, they are a hockey league, and they decided to do something a little different. Some of these sports venues, you've got like the kiss cam. They'll show a couple on the big jumbotron, and they see each other on the screen. They'll kiss each other. It's so cute, right? But this was not that at all. Yeah, instead, this is what happened.
We're about to make some people real famous in here.
Hello, San Jose Sharks fans. I'm Mark Grober, here to remind you to please be safe on your drive home tonight. It's no secret that texting while driving, or just distracted driving in general, is super dangerous. After all, you don't want to look like this guy.
Evidently, they had set up before the game out in the parking lot, and they got video of people on their phones while they were still in their cars, and they would single them out in the big sportsplex, right? They get them on camera, put them up on the jumbotron after they showed video of them texting or calling or holding their phone in some way. So it helps get the point across. Sometimes it's not so well received. But I did want to use this story to remind you of one thing. I don't know if you saw this in the news, but Governor Ivey recently signed something into law that makes it illegal for us to even hold our phones while driving. That means even holding your phone on a phone call. So if you have that hands-free technology in your car, now is probably the best time to learn how to use it. And if you want to use your phone for other things while you're behind the wheel, let me just tell you this. There are ways to set up voice commands on your phone so you don't have to touch that thing, because you don't want to get a ticket or a fine, for even holding your phone. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. We're all about making life just a little bit easier, so I'm going to bring you a life hack with a little help from Brian Trent. I think you're really going to love it, so stick around. I was looking through my house the other day trying to find a little notebook, and I could not find one. We used to have plenty of those things, and we're going to have to probably stock up on some. I've got an 8-year-old who's about to go into 3rd grade, and it's important to write stuff down. If you're trying to figure out math problems or see what we were doing, I was trying to make a little graph with her times tables, kind of get a head start this summer, right? Well, hey, as adults, it's good for us to write stuff down too. And with a little advice on that, I've got Brian Trent from Hampton, South Carolina. He pastors the Lighthouse Church there. He's on TikTok under Trent Tribe. It's him and his family, and they always have some amazing content to bring, and I love sharing it with you here on the radio. So take a listen to this and see what you think. I love this advice.
We had prayed about it for years and nothing had happened until we did this. Stick with me, this might help you. 15 years ago, my wife and I found ourselves in a very stressful situation because of finances, career, family, and other things. And in the midst of all that stress, we decided to pick up a $1 notebook and just start writing. And we wrote about things that were frustrating us, like our finances and our debt. So we wrote down everybody that we owed money to and how much it was. That was depressing. And then we hatched a plan on how we were going to pay them all off. It was a puny plan. But in a few years, we had done it. We even wrote down all of our kids' names and goals that we had for their life that we hoped would enhance their life, like education, relational, spiritual, financial, and even travel. We wanted our kids to graduate college with no debt. Keep in mind, we could barely afford a pizza at the time. And here we are with 3 kids that have graduated college with 0 debt. The thing that was missing for us and so many others is that we were not making decisions with the end in mind. So instead of allowing our current circumstances to dictate our decision making, we started allowing vision and faith to dictate our decision making. Vision that it could be done and faith that God would show us favor in doing it. Keeping in mind that faith without works is dead. So we have a part to play in this. Habakkuk 2:2 says, "The Lord answered me and said, write down the vision and inscribe it clearly on tablets so that the one who reads it may run." When we got discouraged, we would go back and read the vision so that we could get back up and run again. What we found is when we were serious enough to write it down, we were more likely to finish the task. It's crazy. It's like the word of God's true or something.
So our intern here, Braden, and I, we were talking a little bit about going to the theater and that popcorn and how it's so expensive, and how some people might smuggle something into the theater. More next. 88.5 JFM, the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. So Braden, our intern from Shorter University, he's been in studio with me. This is his 3rd week, and he's going to be spending 6 weeks. But we were just talking a little bit about going to the theater, and I found out something about Braden. You see, he's gone to the theater a lot, of course, to watch movies like everybody else, but he's got a little bit of a different experience, too. He actually used to work at, what was it, Boaz 9?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So while you were there, I mean, you had to do a little bit of everything, I guess. A lot of cleaning up around the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Now, I got a question for you. Did you ever notice if somebody was trying to smuggle something into the theater?
Don't think so. I mean, because usually you have it in a bag or something.
Right. So people are so you can't really search their bag, but you can be suspicious, I guess. Well, let me tell you from personal experience, people were definitely smuggling stuff into the theater because those concession stand prices, they're so expensive, the popcorn. But don't get me wrong, that stuff is delicious. It's not like you can just pop that at the house, right? It's special popcorn. But and the butter, oh, that stuff you get to put. I don't think it's real butter, but you know what I mean. Well, when I was a kid, Braden, I got to tell you, we would go to the Dollar Theater over in Decatur, and it was magic. Man, $1 a ticket. It was so good. Because nowadays, I mean, I just got tickets to the new Dial of Destiny movie, and it cost us like $12 per person. It was nuts. So if you can save some money on tickets, that's good and all, but really saving money on concessions is huge. Well, my mom, she would make sure to bring the big purse whenever we went to the theater. And we would stop by McDonald's. Back in those days, you could get that double cheeseburger for $1. And she would load her bag full of cheeseburgers and fries and like the Sam's Choice Coke. And we would just pig out at the theater. Nobody ever asked her what she was up to. If she was smuggling stuff in, she made it look like it was just a big bag, you know? Couldn't tell it was coming in with her. Well, there's another guy, Braden, he brought me this story. It's this guy who's bringing in his own hot dog. It's a different kind of hot dog to the theater, and he confesses right there at the ticket counter. Here, take a listen to this.
Are you here to, you have tickets?
Yeah, for the Thorn.
Got you right now.
Thank you so much. By the way, I do have a confession to make. I know there's no food or drinks allowed, but I did bring my own hot dog.
Oh? Yeah, unfortunately, we don't allow anything outside.
Really?
Drinks.
Well, I mean, you sure I can't bring them in?
Oh, it's so cute. Oh my god, we still don't allow any outside drinks.
What you don't see in the video is the hot dog that he's bringing in is actually his weenie dog dressed in a hot dog outfit. So cute. But I don't think that lady would have any problem watching that pup while he went and watched the movie. It's that cute. Braden, good job, man. That's a good story. I have found some pretty encouraging news stories lately regarding these different benefits in the workplace when it comes to having kids. So there's some for mom that just took effect earlier this month. And now there are some really good things happening for grandparents too. So stick around. Well, I noticed that there are some new benefits in the workplace. And I want to tell you about them specifically for you mothers to be. Yeah, so here's the deal. It's a national partnership for women and families, right? Pregnant employees make up only about 1.6% of the overall workforce on average, but in a typical year, 70% of pregnant people work during their pregnancies. Yeah, so here's the deal. These new benefits that have come into play, well, they're national now. At first, it was just a few states that were doing this, but now under the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, employers have to offer reasonable accommodations to employees who are limited in what they can do because of their pregnancy, childbirth, or related health issues. These companies are expected to accommodate their employees unless doing so causes an undue hardship on their business operations. So what kind of things can happen here? Well, there is time off, of course, a little extra time off. Plus, there's moving a worker from one place to another. If they're, expected to do a lot of lifting, well, they'll be moved into a different role for a while. So I think this is great because you shouldn't have to choose between your family and your job because you've got to have the job to help provide for the family. It's one of those, and for so long, these ladies have felt like their job was in jeopardy just because of their pregnancy. And I'm so glad to see now that this is a national thing. So these ladies are protected. And I tell you what, I'll go ahead and make sure you can find this over on our 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. I'd really love for you to be able to get that there. That way, if there are any questions about this, well, you can find all the answers right there. Again, it's our 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. More coming up before the end of the show about what benefits are out there now for seniors, those people who are to become grandparents. It's a really cool story too, so stick around for that. You've probably heard of maternity leave, and yes, some companies give you paternity leave, but how about grandternity leave? It's a new thing, and it's catching on. So I want to tell you more about it right after Chris Tomlin and Holy Forever. Funnels and landing pages, side gigs, and working from home. It all seems just so appealing, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, quick ways of making money on the internet. That means you don't have to go and work a 9 to 5. Well, the younger generation now, that's what they're kind of striving for. A lot of people making money that way. And so the brick and mortar stores are suffering because of it. You probably noticed some labor shortages, even here in our own community. Well, that's felt nationwide. And one thing that these employers are trying to do is keep the employees that they have, especially those of a certain age, those who would be considering retirement. Well, they're coming out with new benefits to keep those employees on board. And I thought this was really cool. You've heard of maternity leave, paternity leave, and now grandternity leave. That's right, all of you expectant grandparents. Some of these businesses are offering time off so you can go be with your family. How cool is that? Even some other benefits like menopause time off, these companies have started to institute. So they're saying that they need to keep these experienced workers who know what they're doing. Because it's so much easier to have you keep doing your job than have to teach somebody else to do it. Plus, a lot of people think that those of you who are, in that retirement age are already retired. And that's simply not the case. A lot of people still have to keep working. And so they're trying to kind of maximize that, trying to make sure that you feel like you're taken care of in the workplace. And I think it's a great step in the right direction. I just had to share it with you. So new benefits coming to the workplace for our seniors. I love it. Had to share it with you. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. That's going to wrap it up here on the Lifeline Morning Show for today. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. All right, sound good? And I think maybe we're going to have to give away some ice cream tomorrow. I think ice cream sounds good. Jaden's Ice Cream Truck. I was talking with them yesterday. They said, hey, we want to give you a $10 voucher every week from now until the end of summer to give away on the radio. So we're going to do it tomorrow. Just wanted to give you a heads up in the 8 o'clock hour after Kid Cuisine. Be listening for your chance to win. Now, to close out the show, Andrew Ripp and Fill My Cup. Remember, you can catch the show after the show as a podcast over on our website, 885jfm.com. Click Lifeline Podcast. It'll be there at 10:15. See you tomorrow.